What's the deepest place on Earth? A place so well hidden that most of humanity will never set its eyes upon it, and yet holds secrets that really, we've only just started to uncover. What kind of life would you find in a world of perpetual darkness, crushing pressure, and near freezing temperature? Well, in today's video we're literally taken down to the Mariana Trench, a place that's not only the deepest part of our planet's oceans but also one of the most mysterious places on Earth. How deep is it? What kind of bizarre life exists down there? Why is the trench important both scientifically and for understanding history? Our journey begins in the western Pacific Ocean, some 200 kilometers east of the Mariana Islands, in English, literally the crescent-shaped scar in Earth's crust called the Mariana Trench, some 2,550 kilometers, 1,580 miles, long. The bottom of the trench, called Challenger Deep, plunges to almost 11 kilometers, 7 miles, straight down. If you were to drop Mount Everest, the tallest mountain on Earth, into the trench, its peak would still be over 2 kilometers, 1.2 miles, submerged. Why is it so deep? The trench was formed where two gigantic tectonic plates collide. The Pacific Plate is the biggest on Earth, and it is being forced down under the smaller Mariana Plate at a rate. That process is called subduction. In such a geological struggle, over a period of millions of years, comes a profound undersea canyon, the Mariana Trench. In 1960, Swiss engineer Jacques Piccard and U.S. Navy Lieutenant Don Walsh made history in the submersible Trieste, becoming the first two humans to make it to the bottom. They were able to stay at the bottom for 20 minutes before resurfacing, and the record dive introduced new possibilities for further exploration. Then, in 2012, filmmaker James Cameron took that to the next level with a solo dive down to Challenger Deep inside a specially designed submersible. He stayed on the ocean floor for hours capturing footage that nobody had ever seen. These journeys were only the beginning, but what does it actually feel like down there? Down here, evolution has created some of the most bizarre and alien-like creatures on the planet. Giant amphipods, scared-looking shrimp-like animals swim through the darkness while their spindly legs flail in a mad fashion as sea cucumbers and xenophyophores float along the ocean bottom. Bioluminescence is also utilized by many of the creatures that compose its living scene. It is a means of producing light to attract prey or simply to communicate in the dark of the Mariana Trench. The deeper you go, the stranger it gets. Fish with translucent bodies, jellyfish with their pulsating lights, and other creatures have adaptations that just seem to come right out of a science fiction story. Snailfish, with one of the deep records, has appeared at as deep as 8,000 meters. They are adapted to survive conditions that would crush most marine life. Yet, it's not just the creatures that make the Mariana Trench fascinating, it's the geological landscape. Picture hydrothermal vents spewing superheated mineral-rich water from the Earth's crust. These vents, called black smokers, form complete ecosystems based on chemosynthesis, a process wherein microbes convert chemicals to energy, not sunlight. In fact, these hydrothermal vent communities are among the most extreme environments on Earth, and scientists say they may hold clues to the origins of life itself. Some of these mud volcanoes spew out methane at intervals, which researchers believe could provide insight into natural gas deposits and even climate change. The seafloor here is a jigsaw of immense slashes and mountain crests, with each feature sculpted into being by the incessant tectonic activity. This is indeed a living laboratory for geologists trying to understand Earth's tectonic processes and the forces that shape our planet. Yet, to study this extreme environment, it may show us how life evolves under such pressure and give us clues about life on other planets. Yes, you heard it right. Scientists speculated that the conditions in the Mariana Trench could reflectively be those on icy moons, like Europa, a moon of Jupiter, or even Saturn's moon Enceladus. But more so, the Mariana Trench houses records of Earth's geological and environmental history. Materials scooped up from its floor enable a glimpse into the history of tectonic activity, climate fluctuations, and even volcanic activity of the planet. But for as much as we have learned, we can be sure that exploring the Mariana Trench is not easy. The pressure is so extreme that only specially designed submersibles that have the capability of withstanding 16,000 pounds per square inch can venture down there. With the development of modern technology, robotic submersibles such as Kaiko and Nerus can be sent into the trench, collecting data and samples. The machines allow us to venture deeper, longer, and learn more, but they are not totally resistant to such conditions. For example, Nereus was lost on a mission in 2014. It was probably crushed by the immense pressure. It hints that the Mariana Trench is still one of the last completely unexplored frontiers of Earth, where technology and nature are in combat. So, what can be expected in return for the pursuance of the Mariana Trench? With improvements in the technology of deep-sea submersibles, new missions have been planned to chart the trench in detail, including taking biological samples and even finding new species. Some researchers even believe there may be some undiscovered ecosystems, hidden within the recesses of its depth. The next phase of exploration will center not only on understanding the trench's geology but also how life could subsist in such an extreme environment. Such a finding could revolutionize our knowledge of biology and who knows, perhaps even the next big scientific discovery at the very bottom of the ocean. Let's step back in time to 1960. Just imagine this. You're Jacques Piccard, Swiss oceanographer, going down to the bottom of the ocean in a metal sphere attached to a submersible called Trieste. Dangerous it was, and the technology was groundbreaking yet largely untested at these extremes. Piccard was the first human, along with United States Navy Lieutenant Don Walsh, to reach Challenger Deep. It took 5 hours for the Trieste to descend until they finally touched the ocean floor. And when they got there was no noise. Their visibility was blocked by the silt they had disturbed, but for one short instant, they saw a flatfish swim by, proof that even at this unimaginable depth, life could exist. After only 20 minutes, the submersible began its slow ascent to the surface of the ocean. The mission had been accomplished, and many questions remained behind. What else was still out there, concealed under the shadows of Challenger Deep? The bold dive by Piccard and Walsh marked the opening chapter in the fascination of the trench by human beings, one that is ongoing until this very day. Fast forward to the year 2012. Hollywood director and deep-sea aficionado James Cameron is ready to push the frontiers of exploration once again. In a submersible like no other, Cameron plunged toward Challenger Deep, the first person to make the dive alone. His goal? To shoot high-definition footage and gather samples from a region of the ocean few people ever get to see. Cameron spent many hours at the bottom, documenting what he saw. He described the experience as like another planet, where intense pressure from the water was immense, with darkness all around and the landscape as bare and alien. Not only was he able to film it and share this hidden world with the rest of the planet, but he also collected samples that would later be studied in order to understand the unique ecosystem in the trench. So, what's next? The Mariana Trench has only just begun subverting its secrets. Future expeditions, as technology advances, will push the boundaries even further. Of specific interest to scientists is the microbial life that resides in the trench, organisms that might hold the key to new medicines, materials, and even survival strategies for extreme environments. It has been here that microbes have been studied near hydrothermal vents for their unique enzymes, which can survive under extreme conditions. Some of the enzymes isolated from these organisms have industrial applications in biotechnology, from industrial processes to medical research. Now being considered is how these microbes can benefit space studies related to the possibility of life on other planets. If life can thrive in the extreme conditions of the Mariana Trench, then it could conceivably also have taken hold beneath the icy crusts of worlds like Europa or Enceladus. Research into these deep-sea organisms might one day help us answer the question: are we alone in the universe? For all that we have learned, it is still a place of deep mystery. The extent of its biodiversity remains unknown. Every time we dive deeper into it, new species are discovered. Is there a possibility of larger ones hiding in the dark, deeper, waiting to be found? Or ecosystems that function in ways we can't yet fathom? Then there is what's beneath the trench. The subduction of the Pacific Plate under the Mariana Plate has been going on for millions of years. Geologists surmise that a couple of miles beneath the trench lies material from Earth's mantle, forced upward by this ongoing process. It might hold the key to how our planet came into being, how earthquakes and volcanic activity are triggered, and how Earth's climate has changed over the millennia. The Mariana Trench is not just a window into the deep, it is a window into Earth's past. Another important reason the Mariana Trench is important, and it involves us all, is the health of our oceans. Recently, Scientists have found plastic waste and other pollutants even in its deepest parts. It sent shockwaves around the world, really showing just how far the effects of human activity reach. Plastic bags, microplastics, and even toxic chemicals have been found at depths where no human should ever be able to reach. It's also clear that these pollutants are being carried down by ocean currents, showing that not even the most remote places on Earth are immune from the environmental damage we're causing. This is something that needs urgent attention, as this is a question about the health of our planet. The Mariana Trench, hitherto considered to be untouchable, now stares at us right in the face as a grim reminder of environmental challenges. If pollution can reach the deepest point on Earth, where else is it going? Having said that, thanks for watching Discovery Blaze, and until next time.